Hello and welcome to XCOM Enemy Unknown. In anticipation of the release of the new XCOM, I will introduce you to my assault squad and give you my report of their kill and rescue mission in Australia. My squad consists of 5 men, most of which are still relatively new recruits. The squad leader is Wilmer Ars, commonly referred to as Reed. He is a Dutch national with a very sad childhood. He suffered a lot of abuse from his family and classmates, which made him become a very violent and aggressive man. He joined the XCOM project to redeem the faults of his past and attempt to become a better man. Due to his skills, he was made the assault leader. He is the only member of the team who uses a laser rifle. The next member is Feng Zi. He grew up in a village in rural China where he spent most of his days killing animals, which later made him lose his mind and end up in a mental institution. He didn't have access to animals anymore and he got better. As soon as he heard about aliens, he got very excited because to him this was a completely new type of animal he could kill and he was allowed to join the team. He likes shotguns and he doesn't care much about strategy or safety. Some craziness still resides in his mind. The third member is Adolf Gaskammer, a German national. Orphaned and plagued by his name, he was harassed and violated his entire childhood, which damaged him in almost unrepairable ways. He started dealing drugs and weapons by the time he was 14. At the age of 17, he was placed in juvenile prison and forever forbidden to change his name or leave the country. He got released 4 years later and spent another 10 years working shit jobs trying to survive. When the aliens came, he applied to become a part of the XCOM project and his request was granted. The final 2 soldiers are brothers, Fergus and Angus Douglas from Scotland. They are twin brothers, born 3 minutes apart, Fergus being the first to come. Fergus has always been a tough, militaristic man interested in guns, combat and tactics, while Angus was the black sheep of pretty much their entire neighborhood. Their mother had an affair with a Nigerian football player and gave birth to such a strange combination. Angus was constantly picked on and everyone simply made fun of him for being who he is. Fergus always defended him and helped him and he was the best possible brother he could be. When the invasion happened, Fergus was the first in line to join, which made Angus very sad, so he decided to join as well. Angus learned to stay close to his brother. He felt safe and confident as long as he could be near him. The only ability Angus had was to follow his brother's orders. He could do whatever he asked, almost perfectly. This is the assault team that will bring death to the aliens and save some civilians, so let's get their asses to Sydney. The team got dropped off in front of a ruined military warehouse infested with the alien scum. Gaskammer was the first one to move to the edge of the wall. Z got into an argument with Ars in the plane and decided to move to the edge of the wall to calm down. Ars didn't have time to discuss the issue with Z, so he dashed behind cover, a bit behind Gaskammer. Fergus carefully moved, first behind these crates and then further behind a small wall. Angus quickly dashed to him. They could feel the alien presence nearby, but nothing was visible yet. Z calmed down and dashed to this wall close to Adolf, who decided to enter the warehouse and go behind this tank, very carefully. Ars moved to save a civilian and decided to stay where he was. Fergus and Angus hid behind a small wall in the middle of the warehouse entrance, and after seeing that, Ars decided to provide them with overwatch. They could not only feel the presence, but they heard the aliens as well. Adolf moved further to the right, ahead of others, and there was still no sign of the enemy. Ars moved himself next to the burning tank on the left. As a squad leader and remorseful man, he wanted to save the civilians in this area. Z dashed in front of the brothers and hid behind this small wall, without seeing much activity. With the go sign from both Ars and Z, Fergus dashed towards the second tank. Something he would never do unless his team gave the go sign or he was about to save a life. Angus followed him, of course. As soon as he reached his brother, the alien species known as Chryssalid appeared for the first time. These vile creatures are very agile and they are able to infect humans and turn them into zombies who would then turn into a Chryssalid after a few moments, which makes them the top priority when it comes to targets to eliminate. The spider cunts positioned themselves around Adolf, with one of them being very close to the rest of the team. Z started protesting and requesting that he shoots the cunt first, but Adolf wanted to do it because he could approach it from behind. Ars gave Adolf the permission to shoot first, which angered Z, but he contained himself. Shooting the alien weakened it, which gave Z the opportunity to deliver the final blow. This pleased him. The leader was on the move towards more civilians, quite far away from the other spider cunt, but the lives he was saving gave the team enough morale to keep going. At this point, Fergus warned his brother to be careful, because they are going into the hot zone now, where every mistake could be fatal. He dashed towards the civilian to save them, and Angus followed. The spider cunt became quite agitated and moved into the fog. Since he noticed it, Adolf moved forward and saw the alien in the fog. With a good chance to shoot it, he fired and hit. Z dashed closely behind him to tell him what a little bitch he is for not killing the alien in one shot. Ars heard this and warned Z not to be a bitch himself. Fergus interrupted the argument by asking would it be a good idea to run and gun the alien. Both Ars and Adolf agreed that it would, but only if Angus followed and did the same thing. This wasn't a problem, so the brothers ran up to it and blasted it away. Wilmer continued his rescue operation in the isolated part of the warehouse. A few more people were left to save, which made him feel very good about himself. Now that the spider cunts were dead, Adolf noticed another civilian in the far right, next to the container, so he dashed to save him. Without giving too many fucks, Z ran all the way up to the crate, surrounded by darkness. Lucky for him, no aliens were nearby. With a clear path ahead, the brothers quickly moved towards the container next to Z. Meanwhile, Wilmer saved the rest of the civilians, which meant that he would be joining the fight finally. His timing was perfect, as a bunch of floaters decided to show themselves. Adolf was quite far away from the action, but he noticed another civilian up front, and the team agreed for him to go and save them. Getting in this position made him a partial target of the floaters, so he had to rely on his team to make sure he doesn't get hit. Unfortunately, Z went back to his old behavior again and simply rushed into the battlefield, which revealed a few additional floaters inside the building. Fergus told his brother to go behind the crate left of them after he kills one of the floaters. Once Angus was behind the crate, Fergus encouraged him to shoot the motherfucker beside the next container. With just 60% chances, he gave it a go and hit the alien. This, however, didn't bring death to it, which allowed it to shoot at Z and injure him. The other alien murdered the civilian next to them. The floater that was left in the building went full retard. Before Z could do something stupid again, Adolf ran and gunned down the floater that injured him. This annoyed the crazy Chinese man, so he got himself right in front of the other alien, said something in Chinese and shot its face off. With only one enemy left, Fergus instructed his brother to collect all of his courage and follow him into the building and immediately shoot. This didn't quite kill the bastard, but Wilmer Reed Ars was ready to deliver the final blow to the nasty creatures. He came rushing through the doors, aimed at the alien and eviscerated it with his laser gun. The mission was complete and the majority of civilians were saved. Despite Z's bullshit, the team was able to come back to base without any significant injuries. Their efforts made all of them become corporals, while Wilmer became a lieutenant. The assault squad is strong and full of damaged and strange men, ready to kill aliens and save civilians. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed some XCOM and prepare yourselves, as the assault squad will be joining the new XCOM 2 task force soon. I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt.
We will be watching.